Hey guys, this is Cher for Share My Appetite, and I hope you brought your appetite. Today I'm going to show you how to do a little bit of meal prepping, which allots for about 30 minutes. I know that seems like a big commitment, but it's 30 minutes. You can give yourself 30 minutes Sunday evening or even Tuesday evening, because let's be real, everybody after Monday's full day of work is a hot mess. So if you can give yourself 30 minutes, I'll show you how to meal prep for breakfast, lunch, and maybe even dinner if you're not sick of it by the end of the week. I'm gonna show you how to make a veggie frittata for breakfast, which you can throw it in the freezer, the excess, and you can make it last throughout the whole week. And then we're also gonna do a veggie soup, which for all you, it'll be vegan, but for all you meat eaters out there, you can throw in some ground turkey, or you can throw in some turkey meatballs or some like chicken, and you don't even have to make the meat part yourself. You can get it from the store and just throw it in. I like to always just do veggie because then it lasts throughout the whole week. And then if I am craving a little bit of chicken or fish or whatnot, then I'll just throw it in there. All right, so half of the veggies are gonna be used for my breakfast frittata, which only takes about 10 minutes to make. And while you're doing so in the cutting prep, the rest of the veggies go for a veggie soup. All right, guys, let you take a look at all my veggies, and they are all organic. I didn't spend a lot on them. I actually probably spent about $10, maybe a little less. My little trick is I buy my veggies in singles instead of the pack, because the worst thing is when the entire pack is molded in 2 days and I'm biting my tongue because I spent freaking $5 on organic produce. So, fun fact, buy them in singles. All right, so take a look. I have organic carrots and potatoes and squash. No, that's not the squash. This is the squash. And green beans and red bell pepper and some mushroom. So I'm gonna show you what to do with all of this. To show you, I put the mushroom and the squash in the frittata bowl, and I have 2 bowls here. This one is for my veggie soup and this one is for my frittata. I also cut them up in little tiny squares. Yes. So the mushroom I don't actually put in the veggie soup. I will put it in at the end to garnish the soup. So I am just gonna put the green beans in my veggie soup. I'm not gonna put them in the frittata because it might make them a little too crunchy. And I cut off just the ends of the green beans because they are not that great. I mean, you can eat them if you'd like, but more power to you. I just wouldn't. Also, my bell pepper is just gonna go into my frittata. You could throw a little bit in your soup if you want it to be a little spicy or a little spiced up. Go for it. So, and then another thing is the potatoes. I'm definitely not going to throw them in my frittata, but again, you can if you like potato in it. And if you want to throw a little bit of chorizo or like ham or whatnot in your frittata, again, this is just all what you guys prefer. The reason I'm putting the bowls side by side and cutting up all the veggies together is because it just reduces the prep time, which is the one thing I dread. We're trying to work smarter here, not harder. All right, so as you can see, I cut the bell peppers up tiny, again, because they are going in my frittata. So I like to keep everything that I throw in the frittata small size, just so that way you can taste all the flavor of the bites, because you're gonna see later that I'm gonna bake the frittata and cupcake holders so that everything fits in there and you get a little bite of everything. Yeah, that's the reason. Damn, why is this thing so hard to open? There it goes. This is the prep for the frittata. As you can see, there's carrots, there's red bell pepper, mushroom, and squash. And again, you can throw any other veggies in there you'd like, or if you want to throw dairy. I'm going to be using vegan cheese because, again, I'm allergic to dairy. And for all the vegans out there, I got your back. And so, yeah, you can throw in, for you meat eaters, I still got your back too. You can throw in some turkey sausage, or you can throw in bacon. Yeah, you can throw in whatever you like. Be creative. Come on. So I made a little boo-boo and I threw some potatoes in here without washing them first or rinsing them off with water. I like to rinse them out with water first just so the starch doesn't make these the broth so thick and dense. If you don't mind that, go for it and leave them in there, but not a fan. I just throw the small pieces in my strainer. I'm gonna move this over here and we're just gonna throw that in there and then just run it in the water for a couple seconds, you know, just to run the starch off. All right, so we can just do that. Rinsing out the starch. Leave extra carbs. We don't want you. Extra sugar from the starch. Rinse them off and then throw them back in your mix. I have a medium-sized bowl. I don't know if I could show you without spilling, but there you go. It's a medium-sized bowl and I filled it up with all my veggies. You can put as much veggies in there. You can mix it up, put whatever, anything that floats your boat, but this is what I like to throw in there. And I've only put this amount, like a medium-sized bowl of veggies, because otherwise I end up with soup for 2 weeks and I'm not about to eat the same thing for 2 weeks. All right, guys, so now that we have both of our veggies prepped, the smaller one is for the frittata and then the bigger one is for the veggie soup. So I only did enough for 3 days because I don't know if you're anything like me, but I get really tired of eating the same thing over and over and over and over. For all of you who want to do a week, no offense. So just if you want to do a prep for the week, then I would just make sure you fill the bowl to the top. Again, this is like a medium-sized bowl, or you can do a large bowl if you want it to last longer, or if you have more mouths to feed. So. Okay, so we're gonna start with the veggie frittata first, and after you have your veggies all prepped, we are going to use eggs to throw in there. I usually use about 3, or if you want to use all egg whites, that's fine as well. Again, I like to use my vegan milk because I'm allergic to dairy, but if you're not, then you can go ahead and use a little bit of milk and then a little bit of cheese, or if you're vegan / allergic, then you can use your vegan cheese. So I usually will cut up about 2 slices of these and mix them in. like to use these cupcake holders to place the frittata mix in there, and you can bake it. I usually will bake it for 375 for about 10-15 minutes. And then I usually spray my pans before, just so that the frittata doesn't get stuck at the bottom. If you'd like to use butter or baking powder to line the pan as well, then yeah, do so. Or if you have no non-stick pans, that's probably even better. These are non-stick, but I still line them just so it's easier. Which oil, and I love to use this one because it's so easy to just spray. And voila! Lined with oil. Lined with oil. Voila! So I usually set the oven for about, usually do 375 bake, and then I let that get warm, and then while that's warming up, then I go ahead and fill my pan. So as you can see, that one small bowl filled up 6 of these. So if you want to make more than 6, then just double the recipe. Okay, so now my oven is good to roll, and I had set it for 375, and I'm gonna throw these babies in there and let them do the work on themselves. See? Easy peasy, let those things cook in there, and go ahead and you can turn your jams on. I just threw my quiche in the oven, and I'm gonna keep track of the time. The time right now is 12:58, so I just checked for 10 to 15 minutes. A little bit longer if it's needed. I usually do the toothpick trick, just like cupcakes, same concept. So yes, keeping an eye on those, and I'm gonna show you how to make the veggie soup while we're waiting. So let me show you guys my little trick with seeing if you can tell if the little frittatas are ready. All right. Let's see. All right, so don't forget to use your mitt because you don't want to get burnt. I've done that before. I know what happens when you like too much and you don't think about anything else. All right, so let's turn this around and show you. So I'm putting my mitt on, I'm gonna pull out my frittata, and we're gonna do the little toothpick trick, but I forgot I actually don't have toothpicks, so that's okay. I'll use my chopstick, and look at that. Did you guys see that? Hold on. So my chopstick went in, came out, and look. There's no residue. I don't know if you can see that. There's nothing, though, on it, so I believe these babies are done. So I'm looking at the time now, and it's 1:18. That means these things were in the oven for about 20 minutes. So I guess I'm a liar. I guess they took 20 minutes on 375 baking time. All right, guys, so look at that. We've got egg frittata and we've got veggie soup. So we've got breakfast for at least 3 days. I like to use 2 a day, and sometimes I'll throw my frittata on sourdough bread or with avocado, or I'll just, if I don't have time, I usually will cheat a little and I will throw a baked potato in the microwave for 3 minutes. So I've got potato and frittata, especially if I'm at work. All right, so that does it. You've got your 2 easy meals for the week. So now when you don't have time in the mornings and you're running late for work because you would rather get those 8 hours of sleep, which I'm so guilty of, you know, you'll just be able to grab these things and go, and then you can take a few garnishes to spice them up. You can take some sourdough and you can throw the frittata on there, or you can save the sourdough for your soup. You can take a baked potato, you know, warm it up at work. Just, you know, at least if you have a microwave at work. If you don't, you'll have to cook it before. So yeah, easy meals, guys, for when you're on the go.